Hey all, welcome to Maui Mysteries, the channel that brings you interdimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view as they are channeled through vast dimensions of space and time, and therefore should resonate with you guys whenever you come across them. I'm gonna pull some cards and we're gonna see what's happening. Hmm. You're healing through something. Um, it feels like you've got a tower moment. Well, you've got the tower card, the five of swords, the two of swords. Yeah, some kind of a rejection. It could be a relationship rejection, it could be a job rejection, it could be a friend rejection. Like you told your friend you really needed to talk, you're going through a hard time, and maybe they said they were going to meet up with you and then they didn't show up, or um they didn't, I don't know, they didn't answer their phone or something like that. But there's some kind of a rejection that it feels like also whatever happened, this rejection brought about some kind of an epiphany for you where you realize that this isn't a new thing. There's also something here about realizing that yeah, honestly, I heard like you're the only real friend in the friend group. Something about you always having to be the bigger person, the better person, something about that, and you finally deciding that actually you're going to speak out, and you're going to speak out about how someone isn't doing right by you. You're going to speak out, or you did already speak out about how someone isn't putting as much effort into the friendship or the relationship or the connection as much as you are. This could even be like a mentor where you feel like, you know, your mentor isn't putting enough into your path or whatever it is you're getting mentored on. And yeah, this heartbreak, because it whatever happened here is heartbreaking, like as in it made you really sad, you know, the feeling of your heartbreaking. Yeah, it made you really sad, but at the same time it awakened more of that self-love. Like the situation is it's prompting a transformation within you. um this kind of feels like that story I told you guys of that relationship that kind of kicked me deeper into my spirituality, because I realized that there was so much about human nature that I didn't understand. Basically, about my own nature, because I didn't understand like why I was so attached to a situation that was not benefiting me in any way whatsoever. But it almost felt like I was like addicted to it, like I couldn't get out of it. And so it like pushed me into spirituality because I wanted an explanation for why I was responding to this situation in this way. And the perspective that you're dealing, yeah, it's such a higher perspective because, again, you're not so much. There is the part where obviously you're standing up for yourself and confronting whoever the person is to say that, look, this is how you see the situation, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, and I think you also thought that was going to be the gist of the situation. But with this Ace of Cups and this transformation and the Star card, you realize that wasn't the gist of the whole thing. It became more about you and what I just explained. Like, you kind of investigated, you did some self inquiry, and you kind of started asking yourself, like, but why have you been in this friendship for so long? Because it's always been like this. Why have you been going around telling people that you and your sibling are the best of friends, you're like twins, when really you're the safety net? Your sibling, you're always saving your sibling or your friend or whatever person from the karma that's always following them. It's like you stand as a buffer between this person and life. When life tries to get at them, when God tries to teach them a lesson, you stand in between and you're like, no. You have this idea that you are better suited to deal with challenging situations than other people around you. You are aware of your strength, but you're creating a weakness out of your own strength because you've decided somewhere along the line that, oh shit, that shouldn't happen to them, they can't handle that. It would, like, if it had happened to me, I would be able to survive that. So you've become aware of your ability to go through challenges and transcend challenges, which means like to actually solve your problems. And you've started to outsource, or you haven't started to, you've been outsourcing that aspect of yourself to family members, to friends, to lovers. And it hasn't gotten you the result that you thought it would get you, because you obviously thought you would become these people's favorite person. They would one day tell people about how, yo, we're besties, she's my twin, he's like, yo, this is my brother, like, you know, like, I would do anything for this nigga, is my brother. Like, no, that's you. You're always talking like that about them. They never talk like that about you. They never talk like that about you. And when you start to look deeper into the situation with this moon card, there's more that gets revealed. Like the fact that maybe they only call you when they need you. That when you just called and asked for the same thing that they had like asked for like a year ago, they just said no to you. But you are so willing to say yes to them. I remember like my Uber driver telling me about how his friend would borrow his like car to do long distance um drives. Like every time the friend is about to do a long distance drive, they'd be like, yo, can you borrow me the like, yeah, in so dude, my Uber driver, his car breaks down or something, so he asks friend like, yo, can I borrow your car because I need to do. Friend was like, no, that doesn't even make sense, like, no. And it was at that moment that my Uber driver was aware of the fact that this relationship, this friendship is maybe no. Yeah, you may be the only one following the girl code or the bro code of your team. Everybody else, bayazenze lalagwen. And yes, the realization of this feels like something that's happened because the you've already got the star card, which is talking about the healing, how you've put certain parts together of the story and you're realizing that it's not you. It's not because you're needy. It's not because you're too much. It's not because, you know, all of that. It's actually not because of that. Yeah, with this Five of Swords, you're able to be, you're more independent than these people, whoever this person is or these people are. You're more independent than they are. You actually hardly need them. And I think that's what hurts you. That's what hurts you in this situation. That's what brings about this Three of Swords. You hardly need these people, but the one time when you fucking needed them, they did not show up. So yeah, you've been making some really hard decisions that I think at first you were also thinking were contributing to the heartbreak, but the hard decisions you were making were actually contributing to the transformation within you that was leading to the self-awareness. You know, these people, yeah, it's also like that thing where maybe people don't really appreciate you that much. And so you're never aware of what you energetically bring to the union, to the friendship, to the relationship, to the connection. The person never, they never do what you do. I was watching this podcast, and so the guy whose podcast it is, it's called American Alchemy, the name of the podcast. I think the guy's name is Jesse something. I don't know his last name. Um, on this particular episode, he had his friend on the show, and the friend also has a podcast, and they kind of speak about the same thing. You guys, the amount of times like these guys would refer to each other and be like, yeah, you did a topic on like, the Venusians and whatnot. That was so cool. That was so dope. That's just an example. Like, they don't talk about Venusians. Like, that was so cool. And the other guy would be like, he would start a topic and he would be like, yeah, I saw your episode on this, and you totally killed that. They were just there giving props to each other. Like, nothing, and no, it was not, there was no sexual or like romantic thing about that. It was just two bros, like, just giving props to each other and each other's work. I mean, obviously, I'm not in their lives. I don't know if, like, whatnot, but yeah, it wasn't giving that, like, from my perspective. It was literally just giving two people that are friends and they're just like, keep high-fiving each other like throughout the thing. And so because of that, you understand that both of these people are aware of what the other thinks of them in terms of, my friend knows I'm smart, my friend knows I'm a hard worker. They always like high five me about that, whereas in this relationship, these people never ever acknowledged how far you go for them, how much you're willing to do to make sure that they're okay, because they're your friend, because they're your lover, because they're your family. Like, of course. And you have that love template I always talk about, that higher love template. So it's kind of effortless for you to be like this. And maybe that's why they would act as if, because for them, it's like, and maybe this is the part that they never told you. I feel like you're dealing with an insecure person, a person that's never been really appreciated in their lives. And so the way you were appreciating them, to be honest, kind of made them feel like, what the hell? Why did he do that for me? Is he gay? Yeah, but those type of people. You can't show them affection because they never showed them affection in their homes or anywhere else. So you try and be a proper friend, and now someone's gonna say some shit like no homo. Like, utsini. Utsini ungazospora. Yo. Or yeah, this person was never shown like affection and being cared about. And let's say they're sick and you went and got like chicken noodle soup for them, and you got them some medicine and you brought it to their house. It's like, is she into me? Oh my god, I think she's into girls, because like, why would you? Damn bitch, because she cares about you. Yeah, someone here was dealing with someone that's actually very low vibrational, in that their template is quite limited. They've never tried to, and you may have come across this person when you were in maybe the same type of template, but you've grown since then. And like I said, you were born with that unconditional love template, that love as a state of being and not just as an emotion. So yeah, you're not, your love is deep. And it's not too much. I want you to know that you just hadn't yet met the kind of person that also has the kind of depth that you have and can appreciate your ability to care and give of yourself. And it's not weird for them because they will also do it for you. Like you had not yet met someone who it's not weird for them to be loved the way you love because that's how they love, type of thing. I'm hoping, you will experience that. Well, but I think that's where the self-love comes in, because there's something here also about directing all that love also to yourself. There might be something here about also you not being ready to receive love. Yeah, I think you're right. That's the interesting situation of, well, that's the interesting thing about being in a situation like this, because obviously these people always reflect a certain aspect of us, guys. So this connection, relationship, friendship, whatever, was reflecting a part of you that feels like it does not deserve love. Um, like kind of like feeling like you're too much for people. So you try to, or because you've also maybe didn't receive this kind of love, maybe also from your own parents or whatnot, but because you came into this dimension with the codes or the template for that unconditional love, you were always able to express it, but you also haven't yet received it. And that also gave you the perception that you don't deserve it. Like, but, and so maybe that's also why you pour it out so much, kind of like, overcompensation. But you are now in a position where you have to give this love for yourself. And I know you realize what I'm saying. That's what created the transformation. That's why this heartbreak is ending up in a star card position. This is healing. This is you've transmuted the energy and now you're pouring it back into yourself. You understand what I mean? You've decided to give this love that you give to everyone else to yourself. You've decided to pour into yourself as much as you pour into others. Yeah, you seem to have this idea. I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the beginning of the reading, but yeah, you seem to have this idea that, well, you're not wrong. This is so interesting. It's like a subtle self-awareness where you're aware of your ability to go through certain challenges. And even if you call that like strength, I think at first you just thought you were really strong. I'm a strong person. Not understanding you're not just a strong person, you're also really highly intuitive and you're also very intelligent and you're also very connected. That's how you're able to navigate all your situations and your challenges and even your victories, so they don't just seep through your hands. You're able to hold your victories and, allow them to create what they are meant to create in your life. Like, yeah. But you are very aware of how other people, especially people in your life, be it friends or family, how they're not able to do that. So you've put yourself in a position where you're like, they would never survive that. It would be better if that happened to me. Do you understand? Where you kind of want to protect people from life. You tend to want to protect people from their own karma. I want you to understand something. Some things are literally between a person and God. Puma lapho. suka lapho. Angeke umuntu njalo nje izinto zakhe azihambi kahle. Like izinto zakhe azisebenzi. Wena njalo you're trying to save them. Njalo you're trying to save them. At some point you have to realize ukuthi kahle kahle wena usungene indaba yabantu abayi-2. Ungene phakathi kwendaba yalo muntu lo noNkulunkulu. And ngoba wena uhlala uzifaka endabeni zalo muntu. Lo muntu lo, they can't develop for themselves the skill to overcome challenges because you're always saving them. I'm not saying you mustn't be there for your friends, but you understand the context in which I'm speaking, right? So, yeah, again, you've decided to pour back into yourself. You've decided basically to call back your power. And yeah, it's gonna make it so that you're less, this action of calling back your power in this way is gonna make it so that you're less addicted to wanting these people to want you. Because the calling back of this power and your energy is gonna put you in a position where you want you. And because of that, you understand that they were very lucky to have you, or they are very lucky to have you, and that's gonna have you moving differently. It's not about, oh, like, oh, you're lucky to have me, you wouldn't be shit without me. It's not about that. You know that. I don't have to say that, but sometimes maybe we have a visitor that's not part of our everyday community, so for them, we have to say that. It's not about, oh, you ain't shit without me or whatnot. It's actually properly understanding that you bring really good vibes into someone's life. You are a balancing agent within someone's energetics. And that deserves some kind of an acknowledgement. You don't want a thank you note every Friday. But for when someone comes, at least for this person to be like, yeah, this is my bestie. Because you're their fucking bestie. Not like, oh yeah, this is my friend. Are you serious? I've saved your life like 17 times. You should have said I'm your sister. Like, in Christ, whatever. Whatever. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. If the reading resonates, then please like, share, subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading or a mentorship session, all that information is in the description box.